Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We are the Real Short Box Live Edition. My name is Donald. That's Chris, Jarrett, Kevin, Gray. All of us are here. Extra people that you don't know are here. I'm going to do some stuff in the background. Kevin's going to take it over, do some introductions, and we're going to go from there. So, Kevin, take it away.
All right. Welcome to the most amusing, colorful, and most bantyful podcast today, The Real Short Box. And I'm going to start introducing our esteemed guest and cast. First, he is the chairman and CEO of the Rumblespoon Productions and The Real Short Box. He is a man from the great state of Ohio. He is Bruce Campbell's #2 fan. He was the 2000 Kent State University Mr. Beefcake. And of course, he is always DC Comics for life. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the original Donald.
Thank you.
Next, he is a man originally from the great state of Michigan, and now he resides in the great state of Texas. He is the Casanova of the Lone Star State. He is a teacher of future thespians everywhere. He's going to make sure that they find work in Hollywood or Broadway. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, he is huggable. He is lovable. He is Professor Chris D. Turn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, he is a man of the people. He grew up in the shadow of Skywalker Ranch. He is and still is the 2021 Best Daddy of the Year of Central California. He is the president and esteemed CEO of the Black Adam and Luke Cage fan club. And unlike Donald, he is Marvel Comics for life. Ladies and gentlemen, sweet white chocolate, this is Jay.
Thanks for having me here. It's been great.
And next, last, and certainly not least, our special guest. He is a man who is an award-winning filmmaker. He is a great writer. He is a proud puppeteer who is the proudest claim to fame was being a puppeteer for DVD menus of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, he has a YouTube channel called Gregarious, where he currently releases puppet lip syncing videos. Ladies and gentlemen, give a special warm welcome to Mr. Gray Ware.
Great, thank you for joining us, man. It's an absolute pleasure. And last but not least, let's not have Kevin do his own introduction. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kevin. Thank you for being a part of this. We'll give you an applause.
Oh, why thank you, sir. But people still have to know that I am the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan arts.
Okay, I forgot about that. My apologies. I forgot about your Grand Mastery on that stuff. I'm just silly. Okay,
well,
so
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for. It's such an honor to have you and such a pleasure. The first thing we thought of, Maria and myself. Maria was with me. It was actually her thing that I was at when we met you. And
That's
when
right.
we were talking puppets, she was like, "You got to get Gray," and I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Let me reach out and see if he's available," because that's like one of there was a couple things. One of them, the Bruce Campbell thing, but another one was Gray loves puppets. So we were like, let's reach out, let's see if you're available. And I'm so glad you're available to provide your knowledge to us and to everybody watching us right now. So thank you for being a part of this. And thanks to everybody that's popping in the chats. We appreciate you being on. Feel free at any point in time if you have any type of random puppetry questions, I'm sure Gray would be happy to at least attempt to answer them. If he doesn't know them,
I'll
he
do my
will
best.
make something up, or I'll make something up, one or the other. Somebody's making something up, so that's fine too. So yeah, let's I guess kind of give a little run through of what we're doing tonight. We are doing. I'm going to put this in the actual chat. Actually, it's going to be the battle of the puppets.
Part 1.
Yes, part 1, Kevin.
And now we're deviating a little bit from our normal repertoire. We're not going to be doing brackets and kind of have a one-on-one, Highlander. There can only be one champion.
Right.
We're just doing these one-off, So just be there in the moment and just feel it. See the blood. See the latex or whatever they're made out of flying.
The white stuffing.
Yeah, the white stuffing, and just enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, definitely just enjoy it.
More foam, but
that's why I do. I try to enjoy every thing that I can when it comes to puppets and having fun here on the podcast. We got a question for Gray already. It is from Maria, and she says, "Who is Gray's favorite puppet of all time?"
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's I don't know that I've ever been asked that question. God, that is tough. I mean, I am a big MST3K fan. So I might have to say one of those. And if you put a gun to my head, I think I would have to say Tom Servo.
Nice.
There we go.
Good
Excellent
answer.
choice. Excellent choice. Yes. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Mitchell's
Good
corner. All right.
Good. All right. Well, now that we've got that out of the way, we know everybody knows Tom Servo.
The hardest
not
question of the
Crow.
night, hopefully.
Yeah, it very well could be the hardest question of the evening for you and for everybody here. I just want to say really quickly, so hello to Maria. Thank you for joining. Hello to Ricky, Enrique, and everybody else out there in podcast land that's either here live with us, that are not in the chat actively, or that are watching this later, because we will do replays of this later. It definitely merits that. I just want to also give a big shout out to Gray's background. It's not an actual, okay, so Chris has one of those digital, fake backgrounds going on, which looks amazing, Chris, by the way. But Gray's background is real. It's not fake. It's not built into Skype or any of those things. It's actual, it's a whole bunch of puppets that you have created primarily. I think that you said there was one that you did not make.
Yes.
But all the rest that you've created.
Ashy/G I did not make. My wife bought him for me.
Right. Well, how could you not have that? I mean.
Oh, yeah. I saw it was coming out, and I'm like, yep, I have to own that.
Yep.
So other than that, yes, I made them all.
If you ever met Bruce Campbell, would you ask him to put his hand in the puppet?
I have met him a few times, but not since I've owned the puppet. But I think I would. In fact, one of the novelties from one of his movies that I know Donald has this too. This is one of the things we bonded on. One of my favorite movie novelties.
Yes. Yes.
And he signed it there. So, but I would definitely have him put his hand in my puppet.
Oh,
Yes.
that's the quote of the night. Gray showing his bedpan while saying, "I would definitely have Bruce Campbell put his hand in my puppet." That's something you can look forward to saying when you're older too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you're an invalid or something. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. But let's kind of get moving on this so we can get some of these battles going. And like I was talking with Gray earlier, he can pepper in a little bit of knowledge or something that he might know about certain puppets or how certain puppets work, or if he knows anything about some of the characters or something like that. And we're all going to actually be doing that as well, because some of us have a strange obsession, Chris, with puppets. So we'll get started on that. I think the first one out of the gate that we wanted to talk about was one that I find that it's very, very near and dear to my heart as far as like puppets are concerned. I'm talking about Mr. Gordon Shumway himself, aka Alf. I think Alf is one of the
not eat the cat.
right, one of the best. I love Alf so much. One of the little things that I found to be interesting about it was the show apparently was an absolute nightmare to work on because they had to stage it up. Like the stage was up high so the puppeteers could get underneath and work Alf. And there was all these slots, like holes, where they had to be able to move Alf forward and backwards and stuff like that. So they had to have these holes in the floor. So the actors had to work around these pits that they could just easily fall down into. So it was just basically on set with a bunch of death traps, trying not to kill yourself.
I'm glad I didn't have to insure that show.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it probably didn't last as long as they thought it was simply because of that alone. You know, the insurance would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And speaking of insurance, you might want to insure your cookies when this guy's in town. We're talking about the Cookie Monster.
Cookie!
Sponsored by Geico or something for a second. It's like, oh, damn, we got a big sponsor. Cool.
Yeah, sponsored by Geico.
Nope.
Sure.
Nope.
Now, we are sponsored by Splattered Frog Brewing Company, however, and Half's Hot Sauce. So if you go to splatteredfrog.com, put in the code SHORTBOX, save 20% off your order. If you go to halfshotsauce.com and type in the code Donald Hiccups, because that's what I do when I have really hot sauce, apparently, you will save 10% off your order on that. And he's got some wonderful varieties of hot sauce. And at Splattered Frog, they've got wonderful hats and shirts and pint glasses and all that fun stuff. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get to some battles, guys. We have Doodlebee popped in, says hello. Thanks for joining us, Doodlebee. Nice for you. I think this is probably your first time. I don't remember Doodlebee being in here. So thanks for being a part of this. Amy Walsh says hello. Thank you, Amy, for being on. And Joshua Turner says, Cookie, my son has recently discovered Cookie Monster and loves him. That's great.
And that's why he's my favorite nephew now.
As he should.
Doodlebee is asking, did they have people wear an Alf outfit a couple times in the show? It is your second time. Okay. And yes, they actually did have people in a suit walking around in an Alf suit for some of those full shots where he needed to run and stuff.
The running shots, I remember.
They would have that, absolutely. So yes, there was somebody in the Alf suit. They did have a suit of Alf for that purpose, and
it was Warwick Davis.
Was it Warwick Davis?
No, I don't. Probably not. But
I didn't think so. But you never know.
He does everything.
He does show up everywhere.
Yeah. So
you could also say Billy Barty for a long time as well.
Billy Barty.
Yeah. So we have Cookie Monster versus Alf. And basically, this is just a one-and-done match, guys. So you vote who you think is going to win or who you want to win. And then we go from there. So you have a monster obsessed with cookies and an alien obsessed with cats. Take your pick. Personally, I'm not the hugest fan of cats, so I think Alf was doing us a service, providing a service. Instead of worrying about having your cat spayed or neutered, he would just eat them. So,
and Bob Barker would not like Alf.
I don't know. Probably
or
not.
Betty.
No, he would not.
Any animal ever.
Okay, so we've got some votes coming in. So we're going to count some votes here real quick. Jarrett, why don't you take Alf, and Kevin, why don't you take the numbers for Cookie Monster?
Yeah, thank you.
Josh says he has a cat, so obviously he's going with Cookie Monster. Ricky says Cookie Monster. Doodlebee says Cookie Monster. And Maria says, did somebody say Cookie? So we got a lot of votes for Cookie Monster right out of the gate. And we're going to just wait just a few moments to see if we get any more votes before we move on to the next kind of a battle type thing.
Look, I'm just going to say, I don't got any game in this, any big, pick for this one, but Cookie Monster is the better of the puppets, I'd say. He's more endearing and all that, but Alf eats actual like living creatures. So in a fight situation, he's got to be a little stronger and a little more wily to have to tackle and ingest a cat. Eating cookies.
Plus, he's from another planet too.
Yeah.
Not necessarily though, because like Cookie Monster. I mean, have you seen a crack fiend when they're really like fiending for crack? Cookie Monster gets that way for cookies. So if Alf gets in the way of Cookie Monster's cookies, I mean, he'll go no ends to get that cookie.
That's a great point, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, that was one of my major questions coming into this was, am I picking my favorite one, or if they're in a fight, am I picking who's going to win that, or what was is it
both,
just up in the air?
It's really subjective.
The criteria.
Personally, I always think it's who's the better of the two in that position, in that kind of who they're facing and why. Sometimes my own bias gets in the way, as with anybody. But yeah, I mean, to me, thinking outside the box a little bit and thinking, I love Cookie Monster, I love Alf, but I feel like Alf is a stronger candidate because he didn't just eat cats, he ate a lot of other things. Cookie Monster basically only eats cookies, recently vegetables and stuff, but I feel like if you take the cookie away, he's a shell of a monster. With Alf, you take the cat away, he's still going to find other things to eat. And while Cookie's mourning the loss of his cookies, Alf is going to pounce. So that's my thought. But yeah, Gray, so whichever you feel is best for your interpretation.
I would say, I do like the cats, so there is that. But on a purely puppet level, Cookie Monster's mouth could actually probably fit Alf. And Alf's mouth could not fit Cookie Monster.
Yeah, he's got the more narrow one for sure.
That makes sense from a mouth standpoint. I didn't think about that. See, this is why you're on, Gray. This is why you're on.
Yeah, bring the expert.
We've got some comments here, some more. If you guys are keeping track on the numbers. Ryan Kane. Ryan, wow, I think this is your first time on. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you, sir. Alf, he's voting Alf. Amy Walsh says, I am going to say Cookie Monster, as Cookie Monster is not a cat and can supply cookies to Alf. LOL, so that's funny. Enrique says Cookie Monster. Megamouth Spike says hello, so thank you for joining, Megamouth. Janet says Alf wins, he's ruthless, so thanks for joining, Janet. And Frank popped in. Hello, Frank, thanks for joining. Frank, let us know who you're voting for. Let's see. Celebrity Deathmatch says Josh. Dodgers818, thanks for joining, buddy. He says Cookie all day. And Scorch says Cookie Monster as well. Guys, I think we can just call this one. It sounds like a bloodbath.
It is. Cookie dominates.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. So Cookie Monster completely dominates this round. Let's just enlarge him so we can see the texture of the cookies. Because they do look delicious.
And by the way, cookies could be used as a weapon. I think you guys forgot to mention that.
Yes.
Well, cats could be too.
In my fanfic battle, I'm going to say that Cookie Monster was dosed with acid and comes in contact with Alf, and Alf looks like a giant cookie to him, and it just goes from there.
You know, it's funny because Maria in the chat said Alf better watch his figure because if he gets too round, Cookie Monster might mistake him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just a little blurry acid trip, and he's yeah. His eyes look like chocolate chips.
Yeah.
And there is something called a cookie coma. He goes into a cookie coma. Bad things happen.
It's true. To all you Cookie Monster fans out there, if you really want to see a quintessential comedic genius Cookie Monster, go to YouTube and after we're done with this, and check out him on Martha Stewart's show. It is probably the best 10 minutes of Cookie Monster I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wonderful.
Okay. All right. That's an excellent thing. We're going to post that, actually. Chris is going to post that in our Friends of the Real Short Box Facebook page. So for anybody that is not a part of the Friends of the Real Short Box, let us know, and we'll invite you in. It's a private group right now. It's a very exclusive private club. You have to have a jacket to get in with a little emblem on it and stuff, but we'll worry about that later. Just let us know, and we will invite you in. Chris is going to post that later for everybody to enjoy. But right now, we're going to move on. Was there one, Gray, when I gave you the list of some of the puppets and stuff, was there a particular puppet that you were like, man, I want to talk about this puppet. I want to talk about this guy in this battle specifically. I didn't give you all the fight cards, so you don't know maybe particularly which puppet's battling which, but if there's one particular puppet you want to talk about, I'll bring it up and then tell you who he's fighting, so that'll be the surprise.
All right. Well, I mean, other than going back to MST3K again, which I heard a little something about that, but first, I think one of the first ones you said was Sweetums, and I'm a big Sweetums fan.
Okay.
So
do that.
That's the one that jumps to mind.
That's a good battle, by the way.
We are bringing up Sweetums right now. There's a lovely picture of Mr. Sweetums just above Kevin's head. And actually, Gray, Sweetums is fighting none other than Ludo from Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like this fight.
So it'll be a very interesting fight.
That's
Sweetums is a
fight.
giant Goliath. Ludo is a giant Goliath. So if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what you think in this strategy, who do you think would win, and let the audience know. We'll go from there.
Or your feeling on these characters as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm a huge Sweetums fan. Just like that was the one puppet that when he showed up, it was like rare because most of their shots are up close and smaller sets, and so they really had to wait until they had the wide shots. And when they had the full body puppet, that was just like such a treat. And that, especially as a kid, you're like, how did they do that? Like, I understand it when there's somebody below the screen that's holding the puppet up, but kind of like, I mean, similar to Big Bird, but Sweetums was much more rare and kind of mysterious. So I was a big fan of that. Ludo was also very interesting. He's got the horns, so you got to watch out for those. But they're also both, like you said, gentle giants.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a hard. The horns I would give to Ludo. Again, if you go on mouth size, I think Sweetums probably wins that because that's probably that's like this. The detail and motion though, Ludo has with the eyes and stuff. He was much more expressive. As much as I love Sweetums, I might give that to Ludo, actually.
I'm not against that, particularly because remembering the film, he could call upon the power of rocks.
Oh,
Pebbles,
like
stones. Yeah, he could bring them out of the ground, down the mountain, the hillside, basically just crushing Sweetums, who unknowingly would be in the path of just a ton of rocks and boulders just coming down towards him. He'd be like, "What's that noise?" And that could be the end of Sweetums. So yeah, I'm not against that idea. I think in this one, they're both very lovable. And as Maria pointed out, they might just end up hugging each other and calling it a day. But I think if just one says something just slightly off about the other's mother, and then there's a fight, and it's going to happen, and there's no stopping them. So.
I think the battle would be since they both are gentle giants, it would be instigated by Jareth, the Goblin King. So Bowie's codpiece, you'd see a kind of pan up from the codpiece to full Jareth, and he'd be like, "Turn back, Sweetums," and then next thing you know,
yeah,
and then be like,
"What's going on?" And he's like, "Yeah." So that's how I see it going on. Just a visual that popped in my head. Nothing I've ruminated about.
And then he starts talking about the with the power.
Yeah, so he's throwing babies at them and
right,
goblins
yeah.
hanging around.
Slime and Snails, Puppy Dog Tails, Thunderbolt and Lightning, I think is what it was.
Power of the baby.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some counting here. We're gonna check this. I'm gonna put a minute on the clock here, and we're gonna play that down. So you guys have a minute to cast your vote. Those in the audience, you can cast your vote on who you believe would win this battle. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So we already have some people that are voting. Maria says Sweetums. So Chris, you're gonna count Sweetums. Kevin, you're gonna count Ludo. Okay. So Maria says Sweetums. Doodlebee says Tough One. Josh says, I think Sweetums could be Scrappy. So I think that's another vote for Sweetums. Enrique says Sweetums. Doodlebee says, as far as favorites, Sweetums. Janet says, Ludo is too gentle. Sweetums wins the match. Ricky says Sweetums. Amy says Ludo for sure. Magazine Retriever says Sweetums. Thanks for joining us, Magazine.
Great name, Magazine.
And Frank says Sweetums as well, so it sounds like Ludo's really getting his butt kicked here.
It's a wipeout. It's a wipeout so far.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Ludo would be like just as close of a fan favorite when it comes to like big adorable monsters, but I guess I was wrong.
I mean, think about this. I mean, Sweetums. There's one thing that Sweetums has that he can like use to defeat Ludo, and that's that Sweetums can keep running and running and running and never stop. So basically, he just keeps running, and Ludo will be like done. And Sweetums runs all the way to L.A. and just meets the Muppets there. So it's like
That is true.
That's also
Ludo
true,
doesn't look like he's got good cardio. Yeah.
You're right there. I'm pretty sure he's not good on the cardio. He does his stones, has them do the work for him. And Cute Cult puts the nail in the coffin with one more Sweetums. He is a ladies' man, and it looks like Ludo is down for the count.
Done.
An enlarged picture of Sweetums goes up to crown the championship. Sweetums, very, very sweet win for you. You puppet monstrous thing, you. We love you. Hope you enjoyed your battle. And now we're going to move on from there. Sweetums takes that round.
Rest in peace, Ludo.
Yeah, poor Ludo. And let's see. Kevin, how about you take a round?
You just want me to pick one?
Yeah, go ahead and pick one. I'll bring it up on the screen.
All right, let's see here. How about Gizmo versus Grogu?
Ooh.
All
The
right.
battle of adorableness. Jesus.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's just too much cuteness.
This is tough, guys. Like, I love them both. They're both really adorable.
Oh, hey, Grogu. Why are you pointing at Kevin? What are you doing?
Wait. Hey.
No, stop it! Grogu, stop! Sorry, Kevin. Are you okay? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Sorry, I think he was just sensing like that you were going to go for Gizmo or something. He just got
No, not at all.
Jesus. Sorry about that.
This one is going to be tough. You got your work cut out for you, Kevin. We've got two titans of cuteness now. What do you think? Do you think we should go? Are people going to go with the popularity? Because I think they're probably pretty equally popular. In my head anyway. I want to think that. But there's all these Star Wars fans out there, but then there's all these 80s sentimental fans out there. So it's like a toss-up. Are you going to go with a power set thing? Are you going to go with the cuteness thing? What are you going with, Kevin?
You know, I probably would have to go with the power set thing. I mean, after all, Grogu comes from Yoda's species, Yoda and Yaddle, the female Yoda species. Very powerful, very mysterious, very hard to kill. And as we know, Gizmo is actually ways to kill Gizmo if you expose him to sunlight. So if you think about it, if Grogu can use, the Force to expose him to some kind of sunlight, he probably could kill him easily, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you, Maria brought up a good question. She said, what time is it? Are there snacks? Is it raining?
Is it right?
Okay, good point. If it's after midnight, and let's say Gizmo, out of desperation, because he's getting, beat up by Grogu, he jumps into like a lake of water or something like that, and then he starts having
He's mad.
He starts doing the little shake thing, and the gremlins are popping out, and now that would be a problem. And since Grogu is not fully, a trained Jedi yet, it could be an issue, no doubt. But I believe at the end of the day, never count out Grogu.
Okay. That's Kevin's synopsis there, his idea for this. So we're going to start collecting votes on Grogu.
I'm really curious about this one.
Anybody, Gray, do you have anything to add to this?
Let's Jared threaten me.
Oh, everything everybody's saying is very solid. As a child of the 70s and growing up in the 70s and 80s, I love Gizmo, and I love Grogu. It's great, but he's still, not only is he young, but he's young in the universe, really. So I would give it to Gizmo. This is more of a personal feeling, though. As much as I love the Grogu stuff so far, and I'm sure there's more, we're going to see so much more, and he's going to get greater. At this moment, I'll give it to Gizmo.
Yeah, and Enrique said what I was going to say. And he said that Gizmo can create an army, and so that's why I'd have to give it to Gizmo. Man-eating army versus one little Grogu.
Yeah.
Grogu has the Force on his side. Yeah. He's taken on remnants of the Empire.
All right. Well, we're going to start counting some votes here, guys. Let's see here. I'm going to put a minute on the clock again, and you guys have a minute to vote if you have yet to do so. Chris, let's have you take Gizmo, and Jarrett, let's have you take Grogu for vote counts.
Yeah, he'll kill me.
Yeah, I don't think Chris is going to have too much to do. Let's see. I think Grogu says Josh, so Grogu. Magazine says Grogu. Janet says Grogu has too much power, but Gizmo with his Rambo bandana is pretty wily. But she's choosing Grogu, so she's going Grogu. Amy's going Grogu. Doodlebee's going Grogu. Ricky is going Groggy. He's just tired, I think, but we'll count that as Grogu. Let's see. Maria says Grogu. Frank says Grogu. Enrique does say, I'm going to say Gizmo because he can create himself an army. So Enrique did make that point. So it sounds like Grogu's running away with it, and Gizmo's just kind of like getting the crap beat out of him.
Hearing the name Grogu this much, because I usually, we hear Baby Yoda, has made me I keep thinking of like a Star Wars pasta sauce now. Now I'm not married to the name anymore. I don't know. Maybe Baby Yoda should just be better.
Maybe you need to marinate on it.
Yeah. Let me marinate on that for a little bit.
You didn't tell me there's puns.
Unintended. Unintended.
That's all we do are puns. We should change our name to the real pun box. We're really punny. We'll be here all week. Okay, so Gizmo bites the dust, it seems, and Grogu wins the day. So that's not a big surprise, to be honest, but I am surprised that Gizmo only got one vote.
I thought he'd get more for sure.
I thought there'd be way more votes, between the two of them, and then Gizmo would be beat, but not that bad. He really got his butt kicked. Okay. So, anybody else want to take another puppet? Just throw out a puppet, and then we'll put the battle together here. Chris, Jarrett, Gray, any of you guys?
I'll go. How about Audrey 2? Little Shop of Horrors.
Let me pull up Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, for those that don't remember Audrey 2. A mean green mother from outer space.
And she's bad.
Yes.
Interesting thing about that is that that song is only in the movie. It's not from the show. It's not from the musical. They added it for the movie because they had a singer play Audrey too, so they wanted to add that song to it.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
Another little interesting tidbit about this film is that the original ending was so hated by audience members when they did tests that they reshot the ending because it was so dark in terrible, in a good way. Don't get me wrong. I love the original ending. But man, you watch it, it is dark. They are right. It's super dark. It was just not well received, so they had to reshoot it. They had to spend a ton of money on that original ending, and then just to scrap it, it was crazy. But the ending they went with, people loved, and it's been endeared ever since, as far as a film's concerned. On stage form, it's fantastic. I've always wanted to see it on or off Broadway in New York. Never got a chance to.
T-minus 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris is going to go see it in just a couple months off
What
Broadway.
weird production story though? An off-Broadway play written from a B movie.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, that becomes a hit movie based off of the off-Broadway musical. I don't know. It's pretty crazy the way that.
Yeah.
And those guys to go on to write for Disney and write a bunch of like great Disney films and stuff like that, or music for Disney. Pretty crazy.
We need a sequel. It could be terrible, but we just need it.
I want a prequel with.
But nobody lives. How could there be a sequel? The only one alive is Audrey.
Well, if you're talking about the original ending, yes. I mean, but
I consider the director's cut ending canon now because everyone likes that one way more.
It's
so
funny. We went to the Vista to see this at a midnight screening, and they didn't know which print they had. They were like, "You're either going to see,
wow.
you're either going to see the original ending, or you're going to see, the one that's been on DVD and that played in theaters and stuff." And we got treated to the original ending on the big screen, and it was fantastic to see. I'd never seen it. First time watching it, that all these giant Audreys like attacking the city and pulling down bridges and knocking buildings over and just eating people and stuff. It was crazy. It's a crazy ending. Audrey is a formidable foe. Audrey 2 anyway, and Audrey 2 is going up against
Jabba Nobada.
Yes. That wily, slithery chunk of fun, Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
So
both puppets manned by more than one person, I think. I think Jabba had somebody doing the tail and the mouth, and then somebody doing the mouth. And then Audrey, too, for sure, had at least 2 people, I think.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a great face-to-face.
And you got... the Little Shop of Horrors movie was directed by Frank Oz, too.
Yes.
The puppets here, so yeah. Funny.
Master Yoda.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll see him later. But, God, I don't even know where to pick with this battle. You know what? No, I do. I personally would go with Audrey 2. I'm more of a Star Wars fan, obviously, but Jabba's like kind of... He's not the most mobile, of his species. He's kind of just stuck on his, chaise lounge kind of thing and has people do things for him. So he's not really a formidable fighter. And since this is not him with like his, cadre of goons. So, I mean, Audrey too, as we've seen, can start moving herself when she's bigger. She's got the tentacles, the vines, and she's got the vicious mouth. So I don't know. I think this is actually one of the most gory of our battles, and one of the quickest. I think.
I mean, Audrey 2 can also make her own army, like Gizmo. Like,
yeah,
that is true. Like if you think about it, yeah, there's a lot of offspring and stuff. Audrey 2's kind of the Swamp Thing of this battle. It's really hard to beat plant life like this that can easily just duplicate and survive by a little seed basically blowing in the wind and creating another Audrey 2 somewhere.
Unless somehow Jabba, because he's like we don't know what Jabba's organs are like. If he's like, a bad meal and it doesn't go down right, she chokes on Jabba to death, and there's nobody. I don't know how to give a Heimlich maneuver to a plant like that. So,
I think Princess Leia, might be able to use her slave chains and put it around Audrey 2's body and pulling, trying to help, evacuate Jabba. But I don't know if that could work. But it's worth a shot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, worth a shot. All right, so let's start counting some votes. Gray, anything you want to add to the Jabba Audrey 2 battle?
I really can't. I can't disagree with anything Jared said. I mean, the fact that Jabba's just pretty much stuck there, and Audrey 2's more mobile anyway, and the tentacles. I mean, you can't. There, yeah. I think you're right. I think he'd be a done deal.
Yeah. Okay, so Jarrett, you're going to count Audrey 2 votes because obviously you have the picture back there. And Kevin, let's have you count the Jabba votes if you don't mind.
And also, don't forget the sultry voice of Levi Stubbs, singing while he's eating Jabba too. So.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get a good song in while we're doing it. Maria says Jabba looks like a nice snack for that mean green mother from outer space, so she's going with Audrey 2. Josh says, I like Jabba, but he can't take out anyone on his own. Audrey 2 would win in a fight. Enrique says Audrey 2. Janet says Audrey 2. Magazine says, I'm just a mean green mother from outer space and I'm bad. So Magazine is voting for Audrey 2. Doodle B is voting for Audrey 2, mean and green. Amy says Audrey 2 definitely more mobile and Jabba just has his henchman or a trap door.
Yeah.
Frank says Audrey 2, and Ricky says Audrey 2. So that's where we're kind of sitting right now on the votes in the chat. And it doesn't sound like Jabba got one single vote. Am I correct?
Nope. It's a complete shutout.
I don't see that changing.
Maybe we could have done Audrey 2 with the Rancor. That probably would have actually matched up a little bit.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a side tangent, just for a quick minute. I'm so obsessed over this movie that I have a niece named Aubrey. And I'm always calling her Audrey because of this movie.
Oops.
She's like, my uncle doesn't know my name for my whole life.
She's a plant now. Just turn into a plant and solve all my problems.
They need to have another one and name her the same.
I don't know.
Aubrey 2.
I think I made my parents very uncomfortable because I saw this movie and I was probably like 7 and loved it and still do, but I was obsessed with Steve Martin's dentist character, and I would like sing that and do the crotch thing and I thought it was awesome, but I probably did it in public too many times as a 7-year-old with my parents.
Especially I took a pussycat and bash in its head, singing that over and over again. Probably not the best.
Yeah. Oh, mama.
Alf would appreciate you.
Yeah.
So it looks like Audrey 2 has taken this battle. Oh no, it looks like Audrey's taking over the screen as well. Oh jeez.
Uh-oh.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Feed me, Seymour.
Oh no.
You know what's funny?
Okay.
If you look at Audrey's face, it kind of looks like a watermelon with lips and teeth, in a way. Kind of.
It does.
Yeah, I can see the watermelon for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So okay. Now we've done our battles of plant life. We've done our battles of cuties and giant cuties and cookie fiends and all that. Let's do a nice band battle. Let's do a battle of the bands. We're gonna rock out. I think we need a little fun. We need some music. We're talking about possibly Dr. Teeth. I don't know. We could be mentioning a Max Rebo. I don't know. But I think this could be a fun one. So I'm going to bring this one up on the screen. I can't remember which one of you guys were chomping at the bit to talk about this one. So feel free to chime in when I bring the pictures up. First one is, of course, going to be Electric Mayhem. And that's got Animal and Dr. Teeth and all the gang. Don't ask me their names because I never remember them. I thought one of them was Lucy at one point, but I'm probably wrong. And then they are going up against, in the battle of the bands, they're going up against the Max Rebo Band. Now, a fun little piece of trivia. The song that they're playing when that scene takes place is called Mad About Me.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's the song. That's the name of the song. So if you ever go to trivia night and that pops up, you're welcome. Because it did at our trivia. Like last week, I think, or the week before.
Yeah.
It's Cute Cult says it's Janice and Zoot. Thank you, Cute Cult. I appreciate that, and thank you for being on. Appreciate that very much. So we've got a nice battle of the bands. What do you think, guys, about these bands as far as like the fun factor and the puppetry involved?
Well, I think that Electric Mayhem has one specific thing that is just gonna blow this whole thing out, and that is Animal. The crazy drummer. They let him loose, and there's no contest. It's just like I don't even like. I can't even like say that the other band has a chance at all because of Animal, and they're all on acid. So like that makes people crazy too. So
I thought it was about the music.
It also can be about the music, sure. I mean,
it could be about the music.
There's a lot of facets to this that I think that we need to take into account.
I mean, have you seen Animal solos? I mean, they're amazing.
No. My retort to you, Chris, and I'm going outside of the music. I'm going as like the type of people are in the band. Animal for sure is an unpredictable menace, but the Max Rebo band have played in some of the like places of Villainy and Scum. I mean, they've played in some. They're like that bar band that has to go behind like where the glasses are getting thrown at them and stuff. So they've had to, they've dealt with some tough crowds and probably have been in some sticky situations. So they kind of got each other's back, Whereas the other band kind of would all depend on Animal and his unpredictability.
Didn't they get blown up? I mean,
that is. I think he lived. At least he did, I think.
I think he lived, yeah.
Are they going to do a spin-off series on that on Disney Plus?
Max Rebo.
At some point, I could see that happening, yeah.
Max is going to become a bounty hunter because he survived that explosion, and he's just seen enough now. He's going to be like El Mariachi, but Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Oh, man. Somebody give me money.
I remember buying a Max Rebo pop toy, and I was so excited because I loved him even when I was a little kid, the little blue guy. And I got him home, and I set him up next to my Superman and my Batman and my Spider-Man, and I was like, man, this guy really doesn't fit. Like, he doesn't fit in with all these other pop toys I had, but man, I loved it. Like, he's super cool. And I own a Audrey 2 somewhere. I've got an Audrey 2 pop toy somewhere.
Is it like a deluxe one, like one of the bigger ones?
No, I think it's like a regular size, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they may have made a deluxe Audrey 2, and it would make sense if they did. They should have capitalized on that, especially like with the underlings hanging under the vines and stuff. That would have been amazing. Right. But I don't know if they had. I'd have to look it up. They did a big one for Godzilla. I know that much.
If my trivia is correct, I think it took 15 puppeteers to control Audrey 2. So,
wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. Jeez.
I believe it.
Okay, so we're gonna do some voting here. So, Chris, let's have you count the Electric Mayhem, and Kevin, let's have you do the Max Rebo band. And we're gonna put a minute up on the clock, and we're gonna start now. So, guys, cast your votes if you haven't already. It looks like we already have plenty of votes that have come in. Let's see. Cute Cult. Yeah, you actually are right. They are a not a jazz band, but technically a jizz band is what they would call that.
Jizz.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. That.
So that is true. Janet says Electric Mayhem. Ricky says Animal, so he's going Electric Mayhem. Maria says Electric Mayhem. Animal has eaten his own drums. Let's see. Enrique says Doctor, so I think he's either hurting and in trouble or he's voting for Dr. Teeth.
Do you need help?
Let's see. Josh says Max Rebo, I think he has a more iconic song. I honestly cannot sing from memory any Electric Mayhem song. So Josh is going Max Rebo. Magazine's going Electric Mayhem. Enrique did vote for Dr. Teeth, so Electric Mayhem. Frank is going Electric Mayhem. Doodlebee is going, Max Rebo has my vote as far as music. Amy says, I feel like I have to make a stand behind the Max band. Other than Animal, I always felt the rest of the band was stoned. So we got another vote for Max Rebo.
Of course they were.
Cute
Yeah, they
Cult
were.
says, I vote for
Some
Captain
of the best
EO.
bands are stoned.
That's true as well. Yes.
Very true. So where are we at, guys? It sounds like it started to even out a little bit.
I have 3 votes for the Max Rebo band.
I have 8 for Electric Mayhem.
Okay, so
Are you
it
serious?
didn't quite even out as much as I thought. So
Yeah, my name was hit pretty hard.
we might be over with that as far as that's concerned. That's unfortunate.
Ooh.
Wah, wah, wah.
Why do you like that blue elephant guy? He's cool.
But on the bright side, Electric Mayhem wins the battle of the bands.
Yeah.
And you can go, Animal, Animal, Animal.
Animal.
There you go. Yes, perfect. All right, so let's go. So we did the cute, we did the band thing, we did the Goliath kind of thing. What we haven't done is something truly horrific, and that
I don't know. Audrey Jabba was pretty bad.
I think that was pretty horrific.
It was a little one-sided. I think we might have a better battle here. So let's go with just a nasty little dude that found a resurgence on the USA Network and is just rolling in money now. Cash option stock. We're talking about Chucky. Chucky is doing extremely well on the television circuit.
Yes. Brutal.
And Chucky is going to be fighting Billy the Puppet from Saw.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yes. You know what's interesting? The doll from Chucky was partially based on My Buddy. My Buddy. My Buddy.
Not that they got
and me.
No, they got sued because of it. It's the same outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And they basically turned one of those little My Buddies into a serial killer.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was genius. I thought it was total. Because I right away was like, that's like a My Buddy doll, but it kills people. Yeah.
It kills people, exactly. You know, you use like a voodoo incantation. Basically,
Murdering my buddy. Yeah.
Charles Lee Ray was originally, a human being, and when he got shot, he was dying. He had to transfer his soul into one of those. In the movie, they were called. What's that?
I said
Brad Dourif.
Yeah, Brad Dourif.
Great actor.
Very
transferred his soul into one of those dolls, and he met up with Andy and his family, and of course he's terrorizing them. He wanted to transfer his body into his soul into Andy's body, and of course, for the first 3 movies, they couldn't get it done. And then later on, he found he had a girlfriend named played by Jennifer Lilly.
Jennifer Lilly?
That's my Jennifer.
Jennifer Tilly. Is it Tilly or Lily?
I'm sorry,
Jennifer Tilly.
Tilly. Oh my goodness.
Tilly.
She's like, that's okay. You can call me Flower if you want to.
And then they had a son.
Yes, and they had a son. So it's crazy. Yeah, Brad
and then they had a cult.
See the Chucky. Yeah, they had a cult. Yeah, so Tiffany and Chucky, they have a kid. It's crazy. Then eventually Andy comes back as a grown adult in a later movie.
We've got a bunch of folks already coming in, guys, and I want to make this very clear that we're not just talking about popularity with this. You have to think outside the box with this sometimes, and I think that people are overlooking Billy the Puppet's abilities when it comes to scare. And we're talking about he is a part of these freakishly intricate scare rooms, these torture chambers, basically, that even Chucky may not survive. So if you think outside the box in that realm, and you put Chucky inside of one of these torture devices with Billy kind of overseeing it, it might be a different story than Chucky actually easily winning. Yeah, he might not come out the victor that time.
But what if Chucky, all he really has to do is just push Billy off his tricycle and cut him up? That's it.
If he can get to him. Sure.
if you can get to him.
It's like,
But he also does. He has the power of voodoo too. He can use, some incantation.
it's like the old Batman thing, like, could Batman beat Superman? How much prep time does he have?
Right.
That's true.
You have to look at that. Chucky could just easily wake up in one of those rooms, Josh. It could be as easy as that.
Oh, I think Rhea made a good, interesting point about transferring his soul into another doll. So what if Chucky transferred his soul into Billy? Ooh.
It's possible.
That's a solid point. Yeah.
And if you could do that, then it could be even worse because you have not the human operating Billy, but you have Chucky as this puppet now operating these scare rooms or these horror rooms, so to speak, which could be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing a movie like that, to be honest.
I just want to see Chucky wake up, like chained to a wall in one of the murder rooms, and then just the sea of profanities that he just says to the puppet, the Billy one. I just want to watch like a half hour of him just cussing him out, like, "You motherfucker," yeah.
Do we
Chucky
include...
would be delighted to cut off his own leg, I think.
And then Tiffany and Annabelle from the Conjuring series comes and saves him.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do we include the new electronic like remake Chucky voiced by Mark Hamill in this Chucky, or does that one not count?
Good
I'm
question.
saying the late 80s film.
Yeah, we're not counting the Mark Hamill one. At least in my eyes. I don't know. Did anybody watch that film?
Not yet.
No.
I don't even think that's canon.
They make like classic movies. I'm like,
Is it even canon? I don't think it's canon.
No. It's a reboot. It's a reboot. It's totally different.
Yeah, they tried to. It worked so well that they created a television series based on the older version, and it's now already in its second season, basically working on it right now. So,
is it good? Have you seen it?
It is. It's really good. Yeah.
Is it on that horror network or what is it?
USA.
Oh.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
No.
Yeah, I've seen the first 5 or 6 episodes. Now, I will say when Jennifer Tilly's character does appear, you have to know the previous films. Otherwise, you're going to be a little lost.
It's Tiffany.
Yes.
Tiffany Valentine.
Yes, yeah. Tiffany.
Now, is he a puppet in the show, or is it CG?
It's the puppet. Yeah, it's
good.
It's definitely the puppet.
I need to see the show. I'm excited, but my wife is definitely afraid of puppets.
Yeah.
Not puppets, but dolls, which
right.
They do the puppetry well enough that she believes it's a doll.
Gray, don't look behind you.
What?
If you're afraid of puppets, don't look behind you. No. Okay, so let's count these votes and go ahead and crown Chucky the victor. Let's see. I'll just count the Chucky votes out loud because I don't think we have to do anything else. Chucky never dies, says Janet. He's so creepy and would beat Jigsaw. That's 1. Josh says Chucky. Enrique says Chucky. Frank says Chucky. Magazine says Chucky. That's 5. Doodlebee says Chucky. Amy says Chucky. Ryan says Chucky. Josh says, could he get Chucky in one of these rooms? Let's see. So we are at, looks like 8 for Chucky. Right? 8 for Chucky? Yeah.
Also, interestingly enough, it took a team of 9 puppeteers to control Chucky during the first 3 movies, something I know that you would appreciate, sir, Mr. Weirs.
Is that
Brock,
9 at once, or?
It doesn't specifically say in the information I have. It says Brock Winkless. It led a team of 9 puppeteers, so it didn't say exactly if it was all at once or at different moments.
Okay. Yeah, they had. I know he had lots of animatronics and stuff, but really, really solid animatronics. Like you see some. Obviously, I'm more personal to the hand puppets, but there are some of the animatronics they can do now are really amazing.
Well, yeah, I went to Chuck E. Cheese not too long ago, and holy cow,
terrifying.
Yeah,
just stare at you.
Yeah, well, you just call Nicolas Cage. He'll help you out. And beat the crap out of him. So, speaking of beating the crap out of him, Billy doesn't stand a chance.
Nope.
Chucky wins very easily.
A better matchup to me would have been Annabelle versus Chucky.
Oh, we know what you wanted, Kevin. So I'm glad you brought that up. Kevin was like, "We gotta have Annabelle. We gotta have Annabelle. Annabelle. Annabelle." I was like, "Annabelle just sits there too. It's not like Annabelle's getting up and running around like Chucky. Chucky's gonna beat no matter whoever we put Chucky up against. It's just Chucky's the most popular horror doll type puppet thing out there."
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't really think of one to go against.
No.
To win.
Nope. But,
No.
you know, if anything does happen and stuff like this, you know, the shit really hits the fan, we need to call in a crack team of operatives to help us out, to attack these evildoers and save the day. And I am talking about two teams in particular who both arrive, by the way, at the same time and go, "I got this." And then a fight ensues, of course, because they both have their pride. I mean, you know, they're not going to leave. We're talking about the original puppet superhero team, the Thunderbirds.
Who?
Yeah. And they are going up against...
America.
America.
America. Fuck yeah.
I wonder why you kept saying who, Chris. That got me for a moment. I was like, what's he doing?
I wasn't saying it. He was.
Oh, okay. What's your
Ignore
name
the
there?
man behind the curtain.
Is it Hootie?
Who?
Do you have some blowfish with you?
Yeah, I'm the blowfish. He's Hootie.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Hold my hand. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh. What is happening?
Oh my gosh! Owl versus owl. Hoot versus hoot.
It's an owl off. It's a
hoot nanny.
Hey!
It's owling.
Well done,
It's
Jared.
owling.
You should be proud of that one. Maria says, "Nice set of hooters you got there." Well played, Maria. Well played. You and Jarrett win. You both get gold stars.
Yay!
Gold stars. So Thunderbirds versus Team America World Police. Let's go through. These are more like marionette type puppets. Am I correct? Using the strings.
Yeah.
So these ones, if I recall, the South Park guys, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they had a hell of a time with this one. They thought it was going to be much easier than it was. And then once they got into it, they were like, oh, shit.
20-hour workdays.
Yeah, we're not going to get this done in time. Like, what did we do? So, I'm sure they didn't take any advice from the people that worked on the Thunderbirds or didn't know anybody to take advice from.
Sure they did.
Anybody got any input, Gray? You want to kick in on this one? What do you think of marionette style puppets like that?
I'm fascinated. I've never done marionette puppets, but I've been to Bob Baker Theater here in LA, and it's amazing to see. And I got like a behind the scenes tour and how they make the puppets and everything. And it's really amazing. I highly recommend the Bob Baker Theater. I have not seen the new location. I need to do that. They moved, was it during the pandemic or right before? But that's some great marionettes and really fun shows. But with these, yeah, I mean, World Police is just... the puppetry alone is just at a much higher caliber with World Police. Thunderbirds was groundbreaking, so I'd give it that. But I'd be on Team America.
Fuck yeah!
There you go, Fredo.
Fuck yeah!
All right,
Freedom. Awesome. Fuck over.
You know,
Right back with
for
this.
creating the sex scene alone in Team America, my
Yes.
hat's off to them on that.
Uncut, no pun intended. Sexy.
So,
Oh, now I'm getting in on the puns.
Yes,
So-
you are.
so who wins in a fight, the Hood or Kim Jong Il?
Oh, is that their villains? Jesus.
Yeah, they're villains.
Yeah.
I'm going the Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the Team America Thunderbirds, I'm going to Team America because they would just F up the situation so bad that they would end up just like butchering the Thunderbirds. Like it would just be a bloodbath.
Even
It
Gary.
would just screw and yeah.
Even Gary.
It would be like Jar Jar Binks in episode 1, how he accidentally killed all those droids. It would be like that, a Team America.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that I could see. That I definitely could see. We've got some votes coming in, so I'm going to kick on the clock, and we're going to play that down. So we got about a minute for you guys to cast your vote. Chris, let's have you do Team America, and Jared,
No.
let's have you do Thunderbirds.
Okay.
Too bad,
Matt
Chris.
Damon.
Also, the Film Actors Guild.
All right.
So bad.
Matt Damon.
Here we go. Josh Turner says America. Fuck yeah. So he's voting America team. World police. Let's see. Enrique says he's going to go with the OG Thunderbirds. All right. Ryan says Team America. Ricky says Team America. Doodleby says, as far as a battle, I'm going with the Thunderbirds. I love Team America, but I like Thunderbirds battles. That's cool.
Yes.
Janet says Team America. Fuck yeah. So that's it right now. That's all the votes. So guys, get in the chats and cast your vote, please. Feel free. Because where are we sitting at vote count wise?
2 for Thunderbirds.
4 for Matt Damon.
Oh wow.
So that's a surprisingly large amount of votes for Thunderbirds. That I didn't expect them to get any. I'm gonna be real. So for them to get votes is nice to see. Magazine is voting for Team America, so that puts them at 5. It looks like. Maria says she feels like the Thunderbirds would easily win that fight. So Maria's voting Thunderbirds as well. So that's 3-5.
Okay.
All right, so as someone who I love puppets, no idea who Thunderbirds were before we started coming up with this list. So I'm surprised they have any votes at all.
You see?
Wow.
You see? And by the way, Stone and Parker did meet Jerry Anderson, the creator of the Thunderbirds. He did watch the movie. He liked it to a certain point. He just didn't like all the cussing. That was his only issue with it.
Only issue.
See that?
Okay.
That was like his main issue. His main issue was all the cussing.
You know what? I wonder if after hours, if he made those Thunderbirds, you know what I mean? Like, you know?
You never know. You never know.
If the
Well, that's what I
cussing...
said. Like in my day, we did that in private. We weren't sickos putting it on the screen.
Right.
We did it in private.
I can
Like
see that.
God intended.
Amy says, hoping that they both get tangled up and take each other out. So I think we're going to call it there. It looks like Team America's won this one, but not by much.
This is the closest battle we've had so far.
Yeah, surprising. It's very surprising that the Thunderbirds put up a good fight. And that's not a bad thing.
America.
Matt Damon.
Film
All right.
Actors Guild.
So let's do another one here. I know that this one, I feel like since it's nearing the end of the evening, that we want to make sure that we get this one in. I didn't want it to be the last one because I didn't want us to be rushed with it. But because Gray, in a way, definitely worked on this project, I feel like we have to bring up these particular puppets in this particular battle. And we're talking about the Battle of the Critics, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think. So we have Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets, the two old codges that just criticize everything from their balcony, making fun of the two critics that are down below in the front row sitting there watching and making fun of the film, and that's Tom Servo and Crow from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Now, Gray, you had worked on the like it was like the puppeteering for the DVD or like the Blu-ray set opening for that. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, a good friend of mine was doing the menus, I think maybe before I met him. But he was they were animated, and he'd been doing them with CG animation for a long time. And he knew that I had really gotten into puppets and making puppets. Although he made actually the puppets for the DVD menus, he came up with the idea of doing it with puppetry, and I was like, yes. So I got a couple of puppeteer friends of mine, and we started doing that. And originally, we were paid in DVDs and Blu-rays that Shout Factory had to offer us. So it was like go on and see what you like out of Shout Factory and pick out, up to this amount of money, and you'll get those. And so I have the big home movies box set with the clapper in it and a bag. I got some really cool stuff out of that.
That's awesome.
Did you get the Greg the Bunny set?
I did not.
No?
No, I don't know if maybe they were out of that, or maybe that came after we were getting paid in DVDs.
That might be.
But it was so much fun. The puppets were really only about this big, and then controlled with they were stick puppets, rod puppets, and then controlled down below. And we did, I can't remember, I should have looked this up beforehand. We might have started on box set in the 20s, I believe, where they started to be puppeteered menus. And it was all just, he went in and took sound bites from the show, usually of Tom and Crow. Sometimes he would introduce a monster, mostly. A bit in the later menus, he would take some clips of Mike or Joel, and he would have a Mike or Joel puppet. So we did some of those, but it was just so much fun. It was Dave, who ran it, sometimes did some puppetry, but it was mostly myself and Katrina and Jared, the puppeteers, doing it, and I just so loved it. There was one DVD set where you can actually see us on the episode with the movie Horror at Party Beach. There's the DVD menu, and then when you go to the special features, he had a wider shot locked off of us doing the puppetry for the DVD menu. So cool. I was really happy to have my face in there.
Yeah.
And I loved the show growing up and always wanted to work on it. Haven't actually gotten on the real show, but just very proud of the menus.
Yeah. That show's so resilient too. It's one of the shows that just, when it disappeared off the air, they started to do the traveling shows, basically, and then they created like audio accompaniments that you could play along with playing the movie from home, which was a great way to segue to create a new ambiance for them, but to also survive in a world where television didn't seem to want them at that time. And then it recreated and created new fan base for them. And I could never, that was one of the panels at Comic-Con, by the way, that I could never get into. You would have to go like 5 hours in advance and stand in line to get to be the last person in the door. And it was always a day when there was all these other panels and stuff going on, so it was so hard to get over there and get there that early in advance. Otherwise you were just SOL, which is what I was every time. I was just out of luck, and I never got to go.
Satellite of love.
Yeah, I always wanted to do it,
I thought soul, sun in Spanish, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was fun that they brought it back too. Then I think it was for Netflix. They had a revival there, and I think the last time I checked in, they were doing had been doing a Kickstarter to continue, and I don't know if they landed on another network or where they're at with that right now.
They invented their own basically streaming. The new episodes are streaming. It's now I feel like I'm advertising, but it's called the Gizmoplex.
Huh.
They just started airing the new episodes this last Friday. Was the first one. There have been some like preview screenings and stuff, but I donated to all the Kickstarters and got some rewards and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, so it is back, and the new ones are coming out as we speak, really.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear that they're still around and still very, very much relevant, which is awesome.
And if you've never seen one, I highly recommend one of the old ones, Mitchell with Joe Don Baker. It's one of the best. If you want to like jump into the Mystery Science Theater world, that's such a good episode to go with.
Mitchell.
It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mitchell's solid. My go-to is always Space Mutiny.
Nice.
That sounds fun too.
That's one of the fan favorites. The Final Sacrifice is also a great one, and of course, Manos: The Hands of Fate.
Oh yes.
The Hands of Fate.
That's usually rated like the worst movie of all time.
Yes.
So let's kind of get started a little bit on this battle, if we could. I want to just, if we can get into the meat and potatoes of the characters and the essence of who they are, and why do you think that these guys, which team up or which group would win against the other? Let's kind of break that down. Jarrett, Kevin, Chris, Gray, see what you guys think, and then we'll start counting up these votes as they come in, because people are voting in the chats right now, which you're more than welcome to do. Everybody that's in the chats, please feel free to cast your vote and keep talking and amongst yourselves and stuff, and I'll read out what I can when I get time to do so. But go ahead and pitch your case for whichever group that you think should win.
Nothing beats old man strength.
What's that?
Nothing beats old man strength.
See, and I'd go quite opposite. I mean, you got super, what's the word I'm looking for? Surly, mischievous robots who don't give a crap about the older generation. With these old codgers. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like Terminators versus, geriatric people. It's done. Like, they're gone. It's going to be quick.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, have you ever fought an old Marine?
I mean, I've had dreams where I fought Harvey Keitel, but.
And did you lose?
I'd wake up at the first punch, and then I was like,
go.
I'm such a fan. Yeah.
We've all had the Harvey Keitel dream, though.
Fight dreams. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we have anyway. I don't know.
It was like being naked in school, falling, fighting Harvey Keitel.
Right.
Oh, wait, which Harvey Keitel are we talking about? Is the one from Reservoir Dogs? Is the one from Mean Streets or something? Where
the piano. He's just naked and he's coming.
Oh God. Oh, good to know.
Wow. So yeah, I'm going with the MST3K guys.
Okay, that's fair.
Just robots versus flesh. Come on.
Anybody else?
I'm the way I'm looking at it. Words hurt. And who could say the meaner words? And I think that's Statler and Waldorf.
There you go.
They are very mean people.
Old man strength as well as old man words.
I was going to say on comments, I would definitely give it to Statler and Waldorf. Their comments were so much harsher and cutting than most of what Tom and Crow. They were mostly going for laughs, and
right.
And actually, Statler and Waldorf wanted to hurt people's feelings.
Yes, they're mean. They were so mean they made them Marley and Marley. I mean, you can't get any meaner than that.
My favorite rendition of that character, by the way.
Yeah, it was pure genius. It was a really well done job. So I definitely would say Statler and Waldorf as well for me. I think that was they're not the nicest guys in the world, and I don't think I've ever seen them be nice. Plus, I feel like they could easily find a way to dismantle those robots. I think that would.
I thought you did that. Oh my gosh. It's the top 5.
It's our top 5. It's our top 5. We're interrupting this final, what will be our final matchup to do our top 5. So we have to do. Gray, I'm sorry to do this to you. It's a surprise. We do it to our guests from time to time. This is sponsored by Splattered Frog Brewing. It's where we take one of our guests, which happens to be you this time, sir, and we ask them their top 5. So for you, this is going to be could be an easy one or a very hard one. We're not going to say all time, but your top 5 favorite Muppets. Not just puppets in general, but your top 5 Muppets, sir.
Oh, okay. Gonzo.
Excellent choice.
Gonzo's an original. I'd have to go Animal. And I mean, you got to give it to Kermit. He's just there's just so much character there. I mean, no, in a fight, Miss Piggy, you want Miss Piggy, hands down. Yeah. So on the fight theme, Miss Piggy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go outside a little bit and say Rizzo.
Really?
I love Rizzo.
I love
Rizzo
They
too. Brought in like a new, and he's so small. So that was great.
Yeah, I like.
I guess
that's
I
an
think
excellent
that's 5.
choice. I wasn't sure if we were going to go the Super Grover route or not.
Tempting. That the book monster at the end of this book. Oh my God. I love that book so much.
Yeah.
Is Grover a Muppet though?
Yeah. Yeah. He's
no wait. I don't
Sesame
think he is.
Street.
I think you're right. I think he's Sesame Street. I messed that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I'm embarrassed.
I mean, yeah. It depends. It depends on what you consider Muppets.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're all the same to you, Donald, huh? They all just look the same to you.
You're prejudiced, Donald.
That's Muppetist.
Can't tell.
I'm not prejudiced with Muppets, puppets, or anything. I have a friend right here that happens to be a puppet, right? See, and we're good friends.
Puppet, huh?
I just happen to have my hand up his ass. It's fine.
Oh.
It's very fine. Nothing wrong with that. So thank you, Gray, for the top 5, sponsored by Splattered Frog Brewing. Go to splatteredfrog.com, enter the code SHORTBOX, get 20% off your online order. We're going to go back to the Battle of the Puppets, and we are talking about Statler and Waldorf, and they were battling Tom Servo and Crow, which I'm looking for that picture here, which I will have up on the screen momentarily. And there we go. So I know some of you already voted. Alex, thanks for joining, by the way. Evan, thanks for joining. We appreciate you guys joining, even if it's a little late. We don't mind. Pop in whenever. That's where the fun happens. So let's start counting some votes. I'm going to put a minute on the shot clock. We're going to go down. We're going to count from there. So let's see here. Kevin, Gray, do you want to do a count on this since it's a little near and dear?
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing the. I don't know that I have the chat window up correctly.
That's okay.
I
mentioned them out loud
at one point, and I didn't see it.
That's okay. I just mentioned them out loud. So if you don't, if you didn't think you could
okay.
take tally of it, that's okay.
I can count as you mentioned them out loud. Sure.
Okay. All right, you have to count like that though. 1, 2,
Two.
Okay. Yes, exactly like that.
Can do.
So we'll have you do the Tom Servo and Crow, and Chris, let's have you do the Statler and Waldorf, please. And here we go.
Waldorf and Statler.
Let's see, moving forward here. Okay, so Frank says Statler and Waldorf. Magazine says Statler and Waldorf. Maria says to Gray, says that's so cool. I was talking about your earlier conversation with the menus and stuff. Doodlebee says Tom and Crow. Amy says yes, perfect. Amy says Statler and Waldorf. Josh says Tom Servo and Crow.
2.
And let's see, Janet says Statler and Waldorf win, maybe just since they'd be more sarcastic. Ryan says Tom and Crow.
3.
Enrique says Tom and Crow.
4.
Ricky says Statler and Waldorf. Maria says tough choice. I'm going to go with Tom and Crow today. Ask me again tomorrow. Who knows?
5.
Let's see. JR. Thanks for joining, JR, by the way. He says Statler and Waldorf, their jokes are better. Alex says Tom and Crow all the way. I love Mystery Science Theater.
6.
This is tight.
Cute Cult says Tom could pelt them with his gumballs, so I think he's going with that.
7.
Let's see. Josh is asking a question that I'll pop up here in a second here for Gray. Let's see. And Cute Cult says New Zealand could pelt them with his fish. That's true. Another great Muppet character. Evan votes Mystery Science Theater 3000, so Tom and Crow.
8.
So where are we at on this vote count-wise, guys?
It's pretty close.
And that would be, we know it's 8 for Tom and Crow.
It ain't half bad. It's all bad. 6.
6.
Oh.
All that for nothing. You're losing. Okay,
I also look for a Supreme Court decision on this one.
Let's see here. Somebody had a question. I'm trying to find that now. Josh says, Gray, what are your thoughts on the Happy Time murders?
I was wondering if you do like a Happy Time Murders versus Avenue Q or something. I was kind of waiting on that.
Well, there's next week.
Although Happy Time, okay. Happy Time Murders. I mean, loving puppetry, and loving having a somewhat crude sense of humor. I thought it was a blast. I mean, I had so much fun in the theater. If you're looking, strictly writing wise, like story and script and stuff, it had some issues, but I mean, it's just so much fun. I can overlook any plot holes or anything for how much fun I had in the theater watching it. I recommend it.
Uh-oh, guys. So we have 3 more votes for Statler and Waldorf.
Uh-oh.
That's 9. That's 9 for them.
Yep, and that's...
Oh, no.
We're at 8 for Mystery Science Theater 3000. So if you guys want this to tie and you want to go to the Supreme Council,
yes.
You have to cast a vote for Mystery Science Theater 3000. So I'm going to give it another minute to do that. And while we wait to see if anybody's going to vote for that and get us that tie, Gray, you're currently working on a YouTube. You have a YouTube channel. It's got some puppetry involved with it. Can you tell us about that?
I've put on. I used to do animated short films, and that's I had some in film festivals and stuff, and so I have some of those up that I did years ago. But lately, I've been doing. Actually, my latest video has this puppet that I just put up recently.
Nice.
When did that go up? Sunday. This last Sunday, previous Sunday. And I've just been doing lip sync videos just to kind of entertain myself and other people, and they're getting a little more complicated. I did one a few years ago for a local LA band called Betty Blowtorch, which is one of my favorites.
Nice.
And then recently I did a puppet lip sync video for Jonathan Colton's Re Your Brains, which is a great song if you haven't heard it. It's about zombies.
Okay.
And then the one I just put up on Sunday is Florence and the Machine's Kiss with a Fist.
Nice.
Which has the most shots of it veers off the lip sync quite a bit. I do some lip sync in it, but I built in a whole story, and I have action scenes, and I actually bought a breakaway plate to break over a puppet's head. So it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun putting it together. So, and I'm going to be doing more. I have a song. I don't want to tease it, but I think I'm going to do a Run DMC song next.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Love it.
So that's my plan, and I'm just going to keep doing that, and just I've done for the LA Guild of Puppetry. They were putting on 48-hour puppet film projects, and I contributed to that a few times, and had so much fun doing that. Even during the pandemic, I did one just actually in the room that I'm in right now, and they just have 48 hours to make a film, and
Wow.
And that's up on my YouTube page as well. Gregarious, like the word gregarious, but with my name in it.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to check that out for sure. Really
Please
quickly,
do.
I want to say hello, a very special hello to Leo. That's Evan's son. That's watching right now.
Hi, Leo.
So thanks for being on, Leo. Just want to say hello, and my little dragon friend would like to say hello as well. So he's saying hello right now. Hi. Oh wow, I didn't know you talked. Cool. But so thank you, and also I want to say a quick hello to my mom, dad, and sister. So everybody say hello to my mom, dad, and sister who are on watching.
Hi, McKinney
Mom,
family.
Dad,
Mom, Dad,
How you
sister.
doing?
Hi, mom, dad, staff. Thanks for watching. So we got the final vote here. It was by Mega Mouth, put the sort of nail in the coffin by voting for Statler and Waldorf. So it looks like Servo and Crow are not going to make it, Gray. I'm sorry. They got defeated by two old men, but it was a really good matchup and a really like a tough fought battle. So I give them that for putting up a fight. Alex says he loves that song. He says, and all the Office speak in it. I'm not sure which one he's talking about offhand.
Yeah, that's Re Your Brains.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he knows then. Let's see. Also, Kevin brought that up. Yes, please leave a like for the show. We have our final winner for the evening. It is Statler and Waldorf. So thanks to them, those two old codges, for winning us out here and kind of closing us out here. Gregarious is the name of the site, and the on YouTube as well. It's where you can find you on YouTube, your channel there. Okay,
yep.
Great. So we're gonna also post that on the YouTube page, the fan page, Friends of the Real Short Box, for those that would like to see that and can check out Gray's material. Please do so. I think it would be a lot of fun. I'm excited to do it myself. So I hope that we can all do that and enjoy his fun lip sync kind of videos that you got going. And I can't wait for the upcoming one, because that's just some fun, like 80s, 90s, kind of hip hop stuff, like rap, that I think would be a really good time. So I'm excited to see that happen. So again, you can find our podcast here, The Real Short Box. We do these live shows every Monday. Part 2 of the Battle of the Puppets is next week, guys. So tune in for that. Monday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time here on YouTube under Rumble Spoon Productions. You can find us. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll send you out reminders when we go live. So you can click on it. It takes you right there. Please like our page here. It helps boost the algorithms for us. It helps people find us easier, so we do appreciate that. Go to Gregarious and look at his page, like his content, follow, subscribe his stuff. as well. It would be great to do that. We would appreciate that very much. We had a lovely time with Gray. Gray, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Kevin and Chris and Jared and especially Donald and Maria, too, for making sure that you called me.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. So thank you again. And thanks to our lovely audience. Alex, sorry you popped in so late. Maybe I'll give you a call on Skype or something and we can have a quick chat. But I think that's going to do us for the evening, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we'll see you
at the animated, mechanical, but always old-fashioned comic book
shop. And remember, guys, in the world, it's not black and white. Sometimes it's gray. Gregarious.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.